वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। स्टेज वालों हुक्म होया है कि कुछ मिनट अंग्रेजी दे विच विचारां पेश करनियां हन। सो साध संगत जी, you've listened, आप जी ने सरवण कीता फर्स्ट, to put it in Punjabi first, Gurumukhi. My बेनती is all of you first, you've heard the Shakti of Gurumukhi, what comes out of the Guru's mouth. Many times we've talked about Siddhi Dasam, many times at many places. But Fateh only happens when jadon aapa Guru de bachan kamavange, when we follow what the Guru says. Gur kahya saakar kamavo. So ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਦਸਮ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਚਨ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤ ਫਹਿਮੀਆਂ ਪਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਰਵਣ ਕੀਤਾ ਦਸਮ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਆ। ਨਿਕਸੇ ਜਿਮ ਕੇ ਹਰ ਪਰਬਤ ਤੇ ਤਸ ਸੋਭਤ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਵਹਿਗੇ। ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਪਰਬਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਜਦਾ ਆ, ਸ਼ੇਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ 1.25 ਲੱਖ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਪਰਬਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਜਦਾ ਆ। The sound of a lion roaring in the mountains, that's what Dasam Granth Sahib Ji is. It was that sound which took Baba Banda Singh Ji to pick up a talwar and take over Sarhand. That sound is the sound which took over Sarhand. That sound is the sound which changed it into Fatehgarh Sahib. And before we even look into Baba Banda Singh Ji's ityas, the first thing that we need to accept is that this is the Bani that created such Jodhe like Baba Banda Singh. This is the Bani which created Baba Daya Singh Ji, Baba Dharm Singh Ji, all those Gurmukh Pyare. Reading this Bani, you read Panth Prakash, you read Surya Prakash. Which Bani are the Singhs reading in the Jang Dasama? In the battle time, what Bani was it that the Singhs were reading? Koi Singh Akal Ustat Sahib da Paath kar raha, some Singhs reading Akal Ustat Sahib, some Singhs reading Chandi di War, Bhagavati ki War, some Singhs reading Chandi Charitar, some Singhs reading Savaiya Shand. And each of the Singhs like an Intiyar Shastar Sajamdeya. Imagine the Fauj walking towards Sarhand. As they see Sarhand in the battlefield, they see this is the city where our Guru's beloved sons, Sahibzada Baba Fateh Singh Ji, Sahibzada Baba Jorawar Singh Ji, this is the city. And these are the people who bricked them alive, our Guru Sahibzade. Imagine the Singhs reading Baniya like this, putting on their Shastar, getting tiyar bar tiyar, looking at each other. Khosh ho raha Singh, jang da sama nede aa raha, the time for battle is coming close. That Fateh Divas. Firstly, we've all gone through the stories, and you can look up the story of Baba Banda Singh Ji online anywhere. Go onto any website, you can see all the history of what Baba Ji did. But there are a few things I want to go through today. Firstly is this. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, look at what they did. The beginning was Madho Das Bairagi. Look at those 3 words. For those of you who don't know, I haven't got time to go through the story. But you can look it up. All of you know how to use Google, all of you know how to use the internet. All you have to type in is Baba Banda Singh Ji and you'll get the ityas. First, the bare mold was Madho Das Bairagi. Let's look at those words. Madho, according to scholars of Gurbani, means the one who's married to Maya. It's a name for God, Maya da Pati, Madho. That's the earth that Mahaprabhu have given. Let's look at this on the level of Baba Banda Singh. He began off with his mind being married to Maya. What Maya? Riddhiya Siddhiya, spiritual powers. His mind was married to that, Madho. Have you ever sat and thought about the name? Think about the name, where the name began from, Madho. The one who's married to Maya, the one who's in Maya and cannot go out, cannot free themselves. Madho, then comes Das, meaning slave. The mentality which Babaji had at that point before they received the blessed darshan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji was that of a slave. When they threw down their bow and arrow, All those years ago when they were young, 15 years old, from that day again, they said weapons were cursed. They didn't look at another weapon. But when Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji came with their Singhs, tiyar bar tiyar, with all their shastra, with all their weapons, Madhav Das realized this isn't the way to free the country by sitting away and hiding yourself. That's not the path of a Sikh. The path of a Sikh is the path which Sri Dasam Granth Sahib Ji says, Nik se jim ke har parbat te. Sher jiਵੇਂ ਪਰਬਤਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ, ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਾਧੋ ਦਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸੂਰਮਾ, ਇੱਕ ਸੰਤ ਸਿਪਾਹੀ, this warrior came out of Madhav Das, Baba Banda Singh Ji Bahadur, who we remember today, whose photos we look at, even these pictures, even though they're just depictions of them, we look at them and we feel that josh, that energy within. Madhav, the first word is, think about it, Madhav, the one who's married to Maya, the one who's married to falsehood, the one whose mind is in falsehood, then Das, the slave, then Bhai Ragi. If you make it into two parts, Bhai means without, Ragi means with love as well. If you listen to Sant Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji's recordings of Ragmala, their meanings, they translate Rag as love as well, Prem. Bhai Ragi, the one who has no Prem. And what did Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj do? Jiਵੇਂ as Sant Baba Avtar Singh Ji Badni Kala wale were telling us, Guru Gobind Singh Ji took that man. All he used to do beforehand was to use his miracles and his occult powers, his spiritual powers, to throw over the manjas, to throw over the cot that he laid out for a saint. And when a saint came to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, Mahant Jaitram, who had been toppled over, whose basically whose dishonour had been done, came to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, tusi utthe na jao, look at your Guru. Guru Maharaj said, utthe ta jana hi jana hai. Mahant Jaitram said, Benti, Guru Sahib Ji, don't go to that place. When we hear, I'm talking about myself as well, when we hear the Panth's in danger, or when we hear there's going to be some danger to us, what do? We shut the doors and we sit inside. I'm counting myself as well, that's why I'm saying we. But what did Guru Sahib Ji do? When Mahant Jaitram came and said, Guru Sahib Ji, utthe bada khatra hai. Guru Sahib Ji said, I will go there, and to Mahant Jaitram, it's written in Bhai Ratan Singh Ji's Panth Prakash, Maharaj said, I will make him a Sikh of Guru Nanak. That's Kalgitar. Kalgiyan wale Shahnshah, Bajja wale. The one who wrote Sri Dasam. The one who wrote this Bani, which makes your hair stand on end. Maharaj said, I will go, and I will see this Madhav Das myself with my own two eyes. Maharaj got there. When Maharaj sat up on the palang, and the sevadars of Madhav Das came and said, Babaji, some Peer has come, he's sitting upon your throne. He's dressed, he's got a falcon upon his shoulder, he's got a horse with him. He's got many Singhs who are all covered in weapons. Madhav Das said, who is this who's come? And he sent many spiritual powers. The story's long. But in the end, he fell at the feet of Guru Sahib Ji. And what happened? Gur Baksh. The name Gur Baksh. Guru Sahib Ji forgave him, gave him Amrit Didat. And what did Amrit Didat make him? Firstly, it changed Madhav Das Bairagi into Banda. Firstly, he learned what it means to be a human being, what we call a Banda. Bande, Bandagi ikhtiyar. Bande, khoj de har roj. Again and again, Bande se je pave vich bandi. Guru Maharaj said, you want to be my Banda? You want to be part of this Fauj? Bande se je pave vich bandi. If you fall into this Rayat Maryada, if you start wearing the kakars, the blessings of Sahib Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, then you will become a Banda. Look at what they turned Madhav Das Bairagi into Banda. Firstly, learn the way to live. Khalsa Ji, we need to learn the way to live with our heads up first. Guru Sahib Ji said, sitting in your dera in Maharashtra is not the way. You are going to attack many fortresses, take over many kile. Guru Sahib Ji made him a Banda. Then what happened after that? Banda, then what comes? Singh. Guru Sahib Ji took that Banda, that saint, and made him into a lion, into a sher, into a Singh. Gave him this A lion has claws, a lion has teeth. Guru Sahib has given us this pagoti by our side at all times. The Siri Sahib. We say in Ardas every day, Siri Sahib Ji Sahai. Yet do we believe that we're carrying Maharaj with us? Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Sahib Ji took that Banda, made him into a lion, and took that lion and made him into a Bahadur. Bahadur means a warrior who can take over many fortresses. That type of a warrior who established the first Khalsa Raj. Now these things I want to say to you now. 300 years ago, what happened? We're remembering it today. Where did this begin from? This began from Fateh. ਇਹ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਫਤਿਹ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਗੱਜਦੇ ਸੀ ਨੀਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਤਿਹ ਤੋਂ ਆਰੰਭ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਹਦਾ ਮੱਧ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਿਆ ਹਜੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਸਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਛਿੜਕਿਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਬੰਦੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਧੋ ਦਾਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਬੋਲ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਦਸਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਨੇ ਭਾਈ ਮਨੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ And ਰਹਿਤਨਾਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆਗੇ ਆਵਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੋ ਪਾਵੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਵੈ this isn't a joke. You know, sometimes if someone says ਫਤਿਹ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ then we think ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ says I'm facing towards him. These aren't made up things. These are written in the ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਭਗਤ ਰਤਨਾਵਲੀ ਭਾਈ ਮਨੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਜ ਆ ਕਵੀ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਦਰਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ says that Singh who says ਫਤਿਹ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ my face is towards him. I take him into my shakti. That Singh who gives Gaj ke jawab to Fateh, he's on my right hand side. That Singh and Kavi Nihal Singh has said, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਜੇ ਕਵੀ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਵਲੀ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਜੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਵੀ ਰਾਜ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਵਲੀ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਹੋਈ ਫਤਿਹ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਜੀ ਢਿੱਲੀ ਜੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਵੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਖੱਬਾ ਮੋਢਾ ਉਸ ਸਿੰਘ ਵੱਲ my left shoulder is towards that Singh even if the Singh in front because of jathebandi difference or because of other things does a ਢਿੱਲੀ ਫਤਿਹ and that Singh still keeps this is a brother of mine this is a son of Guru Gobind Singh ji and does ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ Maharaj says my left ਮੋਢਾ is towards him and ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਫਤਿਹ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਵੇ Maharaj says my back towards him he's nothing of mine ਸੋ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗਜਾਈ ਫਤਿਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਰੂਪ ਖਾਲਸਾ you're sitting in the ਸੰਗਤ ਗੁਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੀਨੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਮਨਮੁਖੀ ਦੁਹੇਲਾ let them worry let the manmukhs worry you're sitting in your father's god in Dasme Paatshah's god Guru Gobind Singh ji is not gone anywhere they're sitting here inside Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj so Madhe da kithe aaya where did the middle of Fateh Divas come when Madhu Das Bairagi Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj looked into his eyes through the Amrit Punjab Baniyan da padya hoya da 5 Baniyan Japji Sahib Jaap Sahib Savaiye Chaupai Anand Sahib Ji da Amrit jadon ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਛਿੜਕਿਆ and Maharaj said ਬੋਲ Madhu Das ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੱਧ ਲੱਗਿਆ that was the middle of Fateh Divas ਭੋਗ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਿਆ where did the end of Fateh Divas come at that point when Wazir Khan was being dragged along when it took Tanand the Singhs you know we're scared to talk of these things now the Singhs got the person to Tanand who said put these bache of Guru Gobind Singh Ji break them alive do whatever you want with them they got his nose you may have heard the word Nathvich Nakir you may not understood what it means they got his nose they put a ring you know like cows have the ring in their nose they put that ring through his nose and they tied him behind their horses and they dragged him through the streets and they said anyone who comes out of their houses must throw juttiyan at this person anyone who comes out of their houses must look at this person and say shame on him the words which the Singhs used and the words of Pandit Prakash you can read for yourselves I'm not going to say them but the words for that dusht the mission of Guru Gobind Singh Ji dusht dokhiyan pakad pasharo that was the mission which Baba Banda Singh Ji kept this began from Fateh from Sahibzada Fateh Singh the middle was on Fateh when the Amrit touched Madhu Das Ji's eyes and he became Banda Singh Bahadur and the vogue of this divas was on Fateh when Wazir Khan was being dragged through the streets of Sarhand and the Singh said to him from this day on this is not Guru Mari Sarhand this is Sahibzada Ajit Singh Ji's Fateh Garh the fortress of Fateh when you're born the first thing you're meant to hear is Guru's Fateh. When you die, your last ardas will end with Fateh. Think about it. Fateh doesn't mean a win. Fateh means eternal victory. And Guru Sahib Ji said, until the eternal victory comes, every day we say in the ardas, Raj karega Khalsa, Aki rahe na koi. The concept of Raj Khalsa is not a dead concept in Sikhi. It's meant to be alive. It's meant to be pumping through each of our veins. I know that I've taken more than my time. I assure you, within 5 minutes, I'll come to the end. Raj karega Khalsa. They're not dead words. We're not a dead Qaum. We're alive, Jagdi Qaum. But we're only remain Jagdi. We're only going to remain alive. Jagat Jot Japan is a basar. Ek bina mana, nek na anna. If we remain attached to Jagdi Jot. And when I'm talking about Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, I'm talking about Sri Dasam Granth Sahib Ji's Bani as well. I'm talking about Sri Sarbalo Granth Sahib Ji's Bani as well. I'm talking about these Shastra that we call Sri Sahib. Sahib means Lord. Sri means highest. Our highest Lord, these Shastra. Sant Baba Joginder Singh Ji, they were singing with Prem. Askar Paan, Khando Khadg, Tapat Bari Artir, Sahib Surohi Sahati, Yeh Hamare Peer. Jab Hamare Darshan Ko Aavo, Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, Oh Singho, Jab Hamare Darshan Ko Aavo, when you come to see me, when you come to see Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, Jab Hamare Darshan Ko Aavo, Ban Suchet. Sometimes we come into the Guru's Darbar and I see Singhs with dade still tying patke. And I see people with their chunniya back. Singniya, whoever it is. Have we not got that fear? Jab hamare darshan ko aavo ban suchet. Suchet hoke. Asi challe kithe hain? Where are we going? Tan shastra sajao. Maharaj says, if you want to come and see me, putra, fir shastra paake hona hi pehna. Bina teg kesan na devo ditare. Maharaj Ji goes, if you're not wearing the Guru's bakshish, then you're no Sikh of mine. So, bringing this towards an end. 300 years ago, this Fateh Divas began from a 5-year-old standing inside the bricked walls and saying, you can't kill Sikhi. The middle of this Fateh Divas came when Guru Gobind Singh Ji changed a saint who was on the wrong path and put a karban into his hand, put a khanda into his hand, gave him Panjatir, Banda Singh, gave him a Hukmname and sent him towards Sarhand, which is now Fatehgarh Sahib. And the vogue of this Fateh Divas was when Baba Banda Singh Ji stood on top of the Killa and put up the Kesari Nishan and said, Chulate Nishan Rahe Panth Maharaj Ke. That's where this Fateh Divas came from. So Sahib Sangh Ji, bentiyan ye ne. Let's not think about what happened 300 years ago. Let's think about what happened 25 years ago. Dosht Atmama, Kamal Nath came to this country. How many Singhs were there to protest against it? Think about it, Sahib Sangh Ji. How many Singhs turned up? Dosht, who killed 4,000 of our bache, bibiyan, set fire to our Gurdwara. Maharaj says, Sach sunaye si, Sach ki bella. There's no time like the present to hear the truth. That person who set fire to Rakabganj Sahib, Itihasik Asthan. Singhs died within Rakabganj Sahib. That Dosht Atma was here, where were we? If all we're good enough to do is to do this and to remember the old times, Sahib Sangh Ji, this is not the way of doing it. Babaniya, Kahaniya, Put, Saput Krane. Sunaya, Manya, Man Kita, Pao. Suno, Fir Mano, Fir Uste Challo. That's what Maharaj is saying to us. I'm not standing in front of you as someone greater than you. I'm your das, your slave of the Sangat. I'm doing benti to the Qaum and to the Bibiya as well. You are the ones who are going to create, the ones who are going to do the Fateh Divas of tomorrow. You're going to create them. When you have your sons and daughters, don't tell them the stories that these people in the media want you to learn. Tell them the stories of Baba Ajit Singh. Don't tell them about Humpty Dumpty. Don't tell them about these things. Those things aren't going to create your day of tomorrow. Tell them about Sukha Jinda. Tell them about Satavanta Beyanta. Tell them about General Lab Singh. Tell them about Shaheed Dilawar Singh. Tell them about all these surme. Tell them about Baba Banda Singh, Baba Ajit Singh. Tell them these are your brothers and sisters. So Sahib Sangat Ji, I have many things in my heart which I wanted to say. I've taken at least 10 minutes over the time. But what I want to say to you young Singhs, don't just listen to Nindya of Maharaj, of Dasam and all these other things. Learn what's inside Dasam Granth. Read the Baniya. Listen to the Bani today. Didn't it make your hair stand on end? When you heard the Tukam, like a share coming out of a mountain. That's Dasam Granth Sahib Ji di Bani. So my benti to all of you is this: wake up. We've been asleep for many years now. We all need to wake up, all of us. Those of you who haven't got Pakka Netre or Pakka Amrit Vela, make sure you've got a Pakka Amrit Vela. And not just the Mala, be ready to pick up the sword as well, just like Baba Banda Singh Ji. And then maybe, dekho, our mind is married to Maya, Madhu. We think of other things before we think of Guru Sahib Ji. Das, we're a slave to this world around us. If Guru Sahib is saying, get up at Amrit Vela, we say, no, EastEnders is on, this Sky movie is going to come on, I don't want to get up at Amrit Vela. If Guru Sahib is saying, come and give your head, Putra, and in a protest, it's very unlikely in this country that you'll give your head anyway. But at least turn up and show support with your brothers. And we say, you know what? There's probably going to be something on TV, or there's going to be this. Then we're slaves to the Maya of the outside. Bairagi, and if we have no love, Bairagi, no love. That's the way I'm talking about this today. Then there's no way we can get near Banda Singh's status. No way we can get near that. What I want you to do today, Gurumukh Pyareo, Guru Ji di nindya nu bardasht na karo. Kato kat Dasam di Bani padho apne ghਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Kato kat ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਨਾ ਕਤਲ ਕਰਾਓ. ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੇਸ ਕਤਲ कराया, ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ, 10ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ, जब हमरे दर्शन को आओ, महाराज कहते बन सचेत तन शस्त्र सजाओ. तो ये शस्त्र किवें सजाओगे? ਜਿਹਦੇ ਸੀਸ ਤੇ ਦਮਾਲਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਦਸਤਾਰਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸਜਾਏਗਾ? ਕੇਸਗੜ੍ਹ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਿਆ? ਫਤਿਹਗੜ੍ਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਨਾ ਜੇ ਕੇਸਗੜ੍ਹ ਆਇਆ. ਸੋ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ, 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਵੱਧ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਦਾਸ. ਬਹੁਤ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ, many ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ. My ਬੇਨਤੀ is to the mothers, look after the future. And my ਬੇਨਤੀ is to the ਨੌਜਵਾਨ that you are the future. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.